which is Finance Fix if you didn't already know. But today, given that the stuff I normally talk about is money and investing, today I wanted to talk about shopping and tips to keep you safe, particularly with things like Black Friday coming up. So I've got some notes here, and I'm going to read them and talk to you about them as I do so. So I guess the first thing I'd say is when you come across a deal, obviously it's great. You can sometimes come across a deal that's really great and hard to resist, right? But we've got to be careful because sometimes some of these deals can look really, really good, but actually are just scams in disguise. And these disguises are getting better by the day. So first thing I'd talk about is spotting a fake website, tips to watch out for. So firstly, how did you come across the website? Did you get a text, an unsolicited text? It could be an unsolicited WhatsApp message or an unsolicited email or something else. Just be careful about how these links came to you in the first place, no matter how legitimate they originally looked. You might, even if it's on social media, so you might get an ad on Instagram, or a message on Instagram or something like that, which you hadn't thought you had asked for or searched for, and it's just come up. And it's particularly at the moment with Christmas coming up, Black Friday coming up, you've got a lot of these deals coming across in your feeds. You don't want to inadvertently install something on your website. You don't want to inadvertently install something on your phone that you've come across via a link that you've just been enticed to click onto. Check the URL if you're on a website of what you're visiting. A lot of these sites can look like the originals, but the URL may be slightly different. I often think about Boots.com. Boots.com is Boots, but I've seen Bootts, and it seems legitimate. The logo's there, everything's there, everything you'd expect is there, but the URL is slightly different. That should be a red flag for you. And it'd also be unusual for a retail website to use a .org or .net domain. There are a few of them out there, but most of them don't do that. Just got a phone call coming. Let me just decline that. The other thing to watch out for is if websites are poorly structured. Some of them might have poor spelling or grammar, or poorly formed sentences, and this can be a way of getting those alarm bells in your mind to ring. Check the available tabs on the website as well, such as the About Us or Contact Us sections. If they are broken or they contain generic information, then that's a sign that direct contact information isn't there. So I personally would be avoiding the website at that stage. All right. And when you come across other ads, if you are being enticed by these, think about the legitimacy of that ad. And if you really want to go to that website, go to it directly. Just type in the URL rather than rely on the direction that a particular ad sends you in. You might want to check the site for their returns policy as well. If this isn't available, like there's no return address, then steer clear. This might be a scam. You've got to think about these things. And the other thing is, most retail websites, you'll have this experience, of course. You should be able to pay via a debit or credit card. These give you additional protections on your purchases if you meet the criteria. If a website requires payment by direct bank transfer, then stop. Very few legitimate websites will require bank transfers for payments, and it can be difficult for you to get your money back if something goes wrong. So be careful about that. Now, you could also be enticed to purchase directly from social media or a marketplace, and there's things to watch out for there as well. You can sometimes get a great deal, particularly on a marketplace like Gumtree or Facebook Marketplace. You can sometimes get a great deal by purchasing from someone directly, something they no longer need, or something that they've come into and they, it's been an unwanted gift for them. And I've gone into it, I think earlier this year, I posted a video on how to make money using these marketplaces, but things to watch out for as a buyer, which I talk about now. So here are some red flags to watch out for. If the offer looks too good to be true, sometimes it really can be. Don't just get brought in by, I'm going to miss this deal. If I don't buy it now, someone else is going to take this deal and they're going to benefit. Don't worry about that. Firstly, do you need the item? Right? That should be an obvious one. The second thing, if you don't need the item, then you should be looking at an alternative. Sorry, I just had a interruption on the phone there. So interruption at the door there. So if it doesn't look too big, if it looks too good to be true, think about whether you want to buy the thing or not. Is it worth taking the risk? You should be able to request quite reasonably to see the items in person or on a video call. If there is resistance to that, then and you think that resistance is unreasonable, then that should be a red flag for you. You can sometimes be asked to pay in full by bank transfer. Again, that should be another red flag for you. Now, I'm going to say something here as a seller as well as a buyer on these marketplaces. Sometimes as a seller, I request that, particularly if I'm going to post the item or if I've been requested to post the item directly to that person. Because obviously once I've posted it, I've lost control of the item. So I want to make sure I've got the funds in that on the price that we've agreed to. So there's two edges to that, but just be wary if someone wants you to pay for something by bank transfer, which you're ultimately going to collect in person. If you're going to collect it in person, then there should be no problem in doing a bank transfer on the door or wherever you meet, or even handing over cash in return for the item as it's handed over to you in your hands. If you're using something like PayPal, which would be really good to do because it comes with a protection, it comes with purchase protection. But this purchase protection is only there if you're using the paying for an item or service option on PayPal. If you're using the family and friends function on PayPal, then you won't qualify for PayPal's purchase protection. So be wary of that. People also will quite often ask you to use that option so that they can avoid paying fees to PayPal, which, whilst good for them, doesn't give you the protection you might otherwise want. So be wary with that. That's not necessarily a deal breaker for me, but it's something to consider. And any reviews, if you're like me, when I look at something I want to buy from a particular website or a particular store, but if I don't know the store, I will often look at review websites, so Trustpilot and the like, and I'll look at them and see what reviews this particular store has. If the reviews are overly positive and they're all very recent, that should be a red flag for you as well. It could be an indication that they are fake. So just be wary of that. Now, of course, all of these are things to consider. They are not necessarily deal breakers in themselves, but if you're parting with a lot of money, I mean, there's a difference between parting with £20 and parting with £200 for an item. If it's £20, I might not be too fussed. If it's £200, I probably would be. Okay, so that's I guess this my first live done. I just wanted to talk to you about these things that should be borne in mind. And I'm just seeing some comments coming through here. Someone saying, thanks, Rishi. I do know what that means. Someone's talking about Bitcoin. That's not what this video is about. And someone's saying, can I have some money? Not what this video is about either. But hopefully this will help you keep additional money in your pocket in the coming shopping season, particularly around Black Friday and Christmas. All right, that's my first live. I'm going to sign out now. Thanks very much for watching. And if you've got any comments or anything, post a comment on this video, or and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. See you later. Bye.